on my chest. I will not bend.
The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Tonight we polish off Week 10 with a good Monday night matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, Antonio Gibson with it.
And he powers through the first lane, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 27 yards there, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time you wait for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up the first down.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
These two teams have met earlier in the season in Philly with the Eagles winning that ball game. So they're trying to win here in Philadelphia to capture the season series. On 2nd down, here's Gibson again.
And he's got room. Touchdown, Washington.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Hurts fumbles it, and it's Washington that scoops it up.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount. In today's football, everyone's coming after the rock.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted.
Picked up by James Bradbury.
And the Eagles will take over here just shy of the 30.
They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offensive coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named the NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special runs in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. The Eagles sit 5-3 now on the year. And they come in playing some pretty decent football, 5-3 over their last 8.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And some space here. And he into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. They also...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Quick slant to Brown. Down inside the 10.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
Sanders is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter. He's got both of them.
But certainly setting himself up for a big game here. And I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Elliott good on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense. I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
On Wentz is intercepted yet again.
Nick Needham picks it off.
And the Eagles are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, When a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted. Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Chase Young, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. T.J. Edwards gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Wentz. Taking a shot for Samuel. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. The Eagles send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45, and Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. throw here's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
A run here for J.D. McKissic.
And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 40-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Wentz. Thomas brings it in. And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 13-yard line. A good pickup there, 22.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
Back to the ground with Gibson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
And that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And now the rookie's free. 30. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now 21-7. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick-6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick-6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Washington on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll run with Gibson, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. Meanwhile, Wentz's throw taken in by Samuel. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Wentz slings this deep for McLaurin. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
94 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Wentz to throw on second down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes. It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept you in a lot of games, and now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Hurts fumbles it. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold onto the football while being jostled?
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a 1st down.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down. Hurts.
It's caught by Sanders. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the 1st half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Hurts throw complete there to Smith. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Throwing is Hurts. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Yeah, that one drops down, incomplete. I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So that challenge, a successful one. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 34. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now Wentz. It is intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Hassan Reddick. And the Eagles are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. But 1st down, Hurts. Complete. Smith has it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. 88 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Right back to Sanders on first down. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 33. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
The tackle by Cole Holcomb.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Hurts sets up to throw it. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders will have the football as this is taken out past the 30. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
To about the 35, 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Wentz. That one is slant to McLaurin. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, they've got to remember that they're not going to get it all back on one drive. But that being said, they also had to come out here in the 3rd quarter with a sense of urgency and playmaking ability. And they showed it on that last play.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Taken in at the 3. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Another run with Sanders. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory.
123 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to run.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On 2nd and 12, Hurts. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught by Watkins.
And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 20-yard line.
That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Ready?
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. He'll look to throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Sanders again. But he will lose yardage here. Back to the 4-yard line.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This has not been a fun game for this defense. They've definitely had their share of struggles, but they needed to make a play right there, and they finally get it done on 3rd and goal.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
This to make it a 3-score game late. The kick by Elliott is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, actually, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious.
Wentz bringing the Commanders up for 1st and 10.
At their own 28-yard line. Throwing now is Wentz. And now here's another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
This defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick-6.
And how about the way they played this entire game? Not only did they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick-6s, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
Taking it about the 1.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice. He didn't carry it over into the game.
They'll run with Sanders. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
2nd down, back to Sanders.
And here he'll get it down to the 7.
149 yards on the ground for him now as he's gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mat.
As Sanders has it poked free.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
Accelerating, and off he goes. The 40, 20, 10, 5.
And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score.
So hold the phone here, Charles. I've kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that two-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point, but after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for two and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They're going to look to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Smith catches left side. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 21. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Now a carry for Sanders. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got them now.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Once more, Gibson.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Walks off the field. They can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Philadelphia, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Washington, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.